What is up, guys? So I decided that I wanted to tell you guys a couple of stories. So we have a thing in the community, the Hellenic community, the esoteric community, the pagan community in general that we call UPG, or unverified personal gnosis. And what I tell you will probably fall under that, but it still doesn't. UPG in itself does not discount what you see and what happens. It's just not verified through history and whatnot. So it's personal experiences, basically. So I'm going to tell you guys a couple of stories, two or three stories of when the gods visited me. And by that I mean whenever I had dreams during the night and personal experiences of seeing gods. And I wanted to share that with you guys in this video. So the first time I remember ever seeing something related to the Hellenic or the Greek gods in my dreams was probably 3 years ago. It was my first time having the experience with the Greek deities. And it's the dreams come in fragments sometimes, and sometimes they come in interesting ways. And in this particular dream, it was a dream of seeing the statue of Hera and Aphrodite, and then the deity and the goddesses themselves inhabited the statue. So Hera was in the Hera statue, and Aphrodite was in the Aphrodite statue, and they were talking to me. It's been so long ago, I don't remember what was said, but I do remember especially Aphrodite speaking. And so I asked back in the day a group of people, and they were saying that could represent and mean of how I forget the word for it, but when the deity inhabits your statues. I know that's a thing whenever on your shrines, whenever they can, for that moment, live and inhabit the statues on your altar or shrine. And it could be verification and confirmation that has happened. And you guys should look that up if you haven't heard of that before. It's an interesting concept to know. In Hinduism and stuff, they still believe that as well. And then the more personal of actually seeing the gods and whatnot, actually in person in my dreams at least. What happened probably last year, I had a dream of being in outer space, like looking down on the earth in the vastness of the space universe. And so I was kind of like outside of myself looking down on the planet. And that became a focal point of the dream, because in the dream, Hestia was there, and she was letting me know that she's part of the earth. And then I told people about that, and they told me that there's actually some connections to Hestia in the planet. Because the way I took it was, she was saying that she's over every home on earth. And then someone would say that, well, the center of the earth is fire, and she's representative of fire. So there's many ways to take that. So if you want to know what I saw Hestia as in my dream Hestia was wearing red robes and had fire reddish tints to her hair, but her clothes were red and white. If you're just curious of what she looked like to me, she didn't say anything. Well, I think she may have, but she was speaking into another language I couldn't comprehend, and she was not talking to me. She was talking to the other god that was in my dream. And the other person that was in the dream, since I was in the universe, I was talking of all things to Helios. Well, I knew that this god was Helios. It's not necessarily that I was talking to him. I just knew who it was looking. And he was in red as well. And the thing about it is, what he was showing me is that, once again, showing without speaking, but I knew what was being told. And it's that he is not the god of just the sun in this solar system, but he's the god of the suns in every galaxy, everywhere. If there's a sun that exists, he is over it. So his expansion is greater than what we comprehend. We say he's the god of the sun, and it's not just the one that you get blind looking at in the sky, but it's all suns. Yeah, and then so my final dream, or my latest one that I've had, happened a little while after that, and was the most interesting because, as you guys have seen on some of my videos, I am a devotee and Apollo is one that I pray to a lot. And this vision, dream, UPG experience, whatever you want to call it, was Apollo speaking. And the thing about this is that what I noticed and got out of this dream is that whenever he spoke, his eyes, the light, like white light was coming out of his eyes, and every time he would speak, there'd be light coming out of his mouth, because he is the God of light. So that made a lot of sense, and that's also symbolic and figurative. And light can symbolize a ton of things. White light can be healing. It can be a lot of things, but there's a lot of white light coming out, not a freaky, weird way, but it was just natural. It was just coming out. Just when he spoke, just light would pour out of his mouth. So you get that image in your head, and that's basically what I saw. Anyway, those are how many is that? 3 dreams altogether that I've had in a 3-year span. I mean, that's not... Some people don't get those experiences, and I'm glad I got to see this. Like I said, think of it what you will, but they were really interesting dreams, and especially whenever you research back and research what these dreams could mean, and then people was telling you, and then you finding out that there are connections to this and that. It's interesting. So I'll take that with me, and I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later. And as always, go with the gods, and I'll see ya.